changing locations and shit. Man, get into this motherfucking bag. Stand on the way, I made. Sacrificing time for this shit. Man, I got a plan. Tried to tell niggas years ago. They ain't understand. Riding by myself and it's cool. I'm all in my head. Everything in life you can't replace. I build relationships. Pretty little smile make a nigga wanna lock it in. We met the same time I lost a friend. We should try again. You've been on my mind. You should hop in. I ain't gonna hurt you, baby girl. You know we locked in. Used to be on FaceTime calls on the regular. Never made time, landed on my busy schedule. Now every time I hit the bay, you know I think of you.
Henny the Moore reporting live from the liquor store, man. And when all three of us come together, man, it's Cowboys Uncut.
It's Goddess.
West Coast Cowboy in the middle, the Kanye West of this content stuff.
And I'm a day one type of girl. Ain't nothing wishy-washy over here. I don't jump around, stick to one side. Yeah, the silver, the blue, we got them in their feelings. That star on the field, come pay the D a visit. They say it's hatred, is it? I call it hate and simping. Cause if we wasn't that hating, they wouldn't be in our business. Listen, West Coast say the water tastes better. The fan base go harder, and all the ladies get wetter. Yeah, that's how it is when you straight reppin' for Dallas. We get it in the trap, and landlord tell us what's happening. No explanations in no shape, form, or fashion. When Henny drop the stats, ain't nothing else to be asking. Them numbers don't lie, that's why your argument dry. And we still got them rings, you got your eyes on our prize. Whether an eagle, a giant, or a commando, you in the parking lot crying, we in the Lambo. We stay in our bag, we run it up in the draft. You still talking about the 90s, so who's stuck in the past? Get off me, and I'ma need you 6 feet back. Get back. And we ain't hearing nothing till your team beat that. And we ain't scared of running. It's only one team over here, that's Cowboys, believe it. Yeah, this you got is the poet. Big up West Coast Cowboy, HTM Sports, and Landlord from Alabama. Y'all check them boys out, man. Don't play around with the Cowboys content. Yeah, and you know it's DC, yeah, DC4L. All day, every day.
My dear Aunt Sally, we is at the P right now. We gotta go to free agency, then we gotta go to draft, then we can talk about training camp.
And Stephen Jones, who's also a multi-millionaire, moves and feels like a what? Like a dude that is got $15 in his bank account.
We finna come marching to Dallas with our picket signs, ticket torches, everything we can find.
And we are live. What's good with y'all, man? It's your boy, Henny the Moore, reporting live from the liquor store, man. How's everybody doing? God bless America. Man, we gotta talk, man. We gotta come into the liquor store. I hope y'all brought some money. Y'all need to get you a bottle, take a shot, cause it's hectic out here right now, man. So I don't know, man. It looked like the Dallas Cowboys are gearing up to fuck the draft up yet again, man. Hey, listen, I'm gonna try to be positive, but you know what I'm saying? We gonna rock, man. We gonna rock and do what we gotta do, man. But we gonna make it work, man. We gonna chop it up and see what we can talk through this right now, man. Cause it's not looking good for Team Weapon right now, man. So before we get too far ahead of ourselves, man, and jump headfirst to the content, I'm gonna try to keep myself from ranting and raving. Please hit that like button. Please hit that share button. Please slap the dog shit out of an Eagles fan for me, man. You know they deserve it. And yeah, man, if you want to help keep the lights on in the liquor store, hit that Cash App. We ain't monetized on YouTube no more. They hate us. We hate them back. So hit the Cash App. It's $ Henny the Moore. And with all that out the way, let's go ahead and dive head first into this content, man, because I don't like the sound of this. So this is what got me concerned right now when we talk about the Dallas Cowboys and we talk about that 12th overall pick for the Dallas Cowboys. So recently, Nick Harris wrote an article, and they were talking about left tackle Josh Simmons from Ohio State. A phenomenal player, don't get me wrong. I take nothing away from Josh Simmons. He might be one of the best pure left tackles in the draft. The only hiccup with him is he just had a knee injury. He tore his ACL in the middle of the season. was not able to actually go on a playoff run when they won the championship. But he's still a very good prospect, man. He's still a very, very, very good prospect, right? No shade against him. But one of the things that Nick Harris mentioned when bringing up the Dallas Cowboys, he said that they have become, the word he used was enamored. So, right, if you don't know what enamored means, like they are infatuated. They done fell in love at first sight. They smitten. You know, they want to be down with that boy, man. So the Dallas Cowboys seem to be in love with Josh Simmons and with a buzzer beater, right? With a buzzer beater, Tyler Booker has been brought in. Tyler Booker has been brought in as another 30 visit. We know about Tyler Booker. That's boss guy. Very good prospect. I believe he is also a first-round pick, but a lot of people are trying to push him down their board because of his athletic testing. His RAS score wasn't good, so folks don't like to do that. He said Terrence Steele tore his ACL. When Terrence Steele tore his ACL? When that happened? When did Terrence Steele tear his ACL? He tore it this offseason or something? What's going on with Terrence Steele? Oh, coming back from his ACL. Okay. We Gucci. So, yeah, man. So, this is really what got me concerned at this point. Because it's not that I don't believe in building the trenches. But we also got to remember how championship teams build up their trenches. We got to remember how teams actually build their rosters. And I'm going to touch on why the Dallas Cowboys have not sniffed the Super Bowl. I'm going to touch on why the Dallas Cowboys, continually have the problems where they can't advance past the divisional round. It's because of how they build their roster and how they allocate the assets that they do have, right? So I see in the chat right now, they say build the trenches. Sure. On the surface, that sounds like a great idea. Build your trenches up. You need to be stout on both sides of the ball. Your defensive line, your offensive line. You got to be able to move people from the point of attack. You got to be able to get penetration, rush the passer, protect the quarterback, run the football, open holes. All that stuff is true in a vacuum. But how you actually go about building up your trenches matters, because there is limited resources that you have to build a roster. You have limited draft capital, and you have limited amount of cap space in order to build a championship team, right? So what do the teams that actually go to Super Bowls and win Super Bowls do? Do they spend all their first-round picks on offensive linemen? That's really the question you need to ask yourself. Are these championship caliber teams building their offensive line in the way that y'all asking the Dallas Cowboys to build their offensive line? And frankly, the answer is no. They are not spending first-round pick after first-round pick on offensive linemen. They just are not. And I have the proof for you right here, if I can find it. Bear with me 1 second. I'm going to see if I can pull it up. All right. So, shout out to Cowboys due diligence. He is keeping track of all the offensive linemen that were first-round picks from the Super Bowl championship teams, right? And when we say first-round picks, they drafted them. There's this thing called free agency, where if you get somebody else's former first-round pick, you spent money in free agency, right? So we're talking about spending draft capital, right? Talk about spending draft capital. The Kansas City Chiefs won in 2023 last year. The San Francisco 49ers went. Neither one of those franchises had a first-round pick offensive lineman that they themselves drafted. They built their trenches through free agency, second-round picks, and everything else. But they did not have a single first-round pick on their offensive line. They did not, right? 2022, Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles, right? We know that the Eagles got Lane Johnson. Lane Johnson is superb. But that's the only first-round pick that they drafted. And they were able to use all those second-round picks. They took the guy that was a rugby player, developed him. He's a seventh-round pick. They built that line up, and they were able to go to the Super Bowl. The Chiefs still did not have a single first-round pick on their offensive line when they went. They did not. They did not have a first round pick. They still were good enough to go though, right? The Rams did not have a first round pick. Cincinnati only had one. Tampa Bay only had one first round pick. San Francisco had one at the time. New England only had one, and LA had 0. Philly had one in 2017, and New England only had one. New England only had one, and Atlanta only had one. Denver and Carolina both didn't have a damn one. New England, when they went in 2014, did not have a single first-round pick on that offensive line that they drafted themselves. Then, the Seattle Seahawks had the most on here with a grand total of 2. The Dallas Cowboys already have 2 first-round picks on their offensive line, folks. So when you're asking me, build the trenches, that's cool. But build it the same way that the winning teams build it. The winning teams spend money in free agency. They do a really good job of developing their second-round picks and third-round picks, fourth-round picks, and finding talent, right? They are not spending all their assets on the offensive line. That's not how they build their teams. So it is disingenuous to say build the trenches. That's winning football. Build the trenches. Like, how you build the trenches is important. Because last time I checked, when we had 3 first-round picks in the offensive line, we did not get out. We did not get out of the second round. Trent Williams was drafted by the Washington Redskins. Remember, they got Trent Williams to free agency. So that's sort of my point. That is sort of my point. I'm not saying don't address your offensive line, but the smart teams aren't using their first-round picks on a whole bunch of offensive linemen. They're not using their own first-round picks on offensive linemen. They are signing free agents, and they are developing their back end in the draft. They are developing their second-round picks. They're developing their third-round picks, their fourth-round picks, their fifth-round picks, right? They are not spending all their assets on the offensive line, at least not their first-round picks. When you talk about the Kansas City Chiefs and what they've drafted in the first round, they drafted a wide receiver recently. Just last year, they went and got a wide receiver, right? San Francisco 49ers, like, these teams are getting weapons. They're getting weapons and skill position players. They're drafting corners. They're drafting wide receivers. Some of the guys, you know what I'm saying? They're not going offensive line like that, man. So that's my issue. My issue is not with the offensive line. I don't want anybody to think that I do not understand the gravity of needing a superb offensive line. Like, you need to be able to win up front to win championships. That is true. But remember, in math, when you're in math and you're up there, they don't let you just do mental math no more. They make you show your work to see how you got to the answer that you got. We're not showing our work when we're talking about the offensive line no more. These other teams are not building their offensive line in the capacity that y'all are talking about doing for the Dallas Cowboys. That's not what winning teams are doing. And in my opinion, the Dallas Cowboys, who have not won a championship in just about 30 years, who have not been to an NFC championship game, should be taking notes and following the trends of the teams that are going to championship games. They should be following the trends of teams that are going to Super Bowls. They should be following the trends of teams that are winning championships. Because the way that they are building their roster has not translated to winning on the big stage. Because you get out there, right? You get out there and you have no skill position players. You have no good running backs. You don't have anything but an offensive line. The Dallas Cowboys have not had a 100-yard rusher in the playoffs since 2018. And that is not solely because of the offensive line. That's not solely because of the offensive line. Like, they have not shown up themselves the running back talent you had. Right? What up with you, Los? Thank you for tapping in. Rico, JV, B-Boy, T-Jack, everybody in the building, man. Salute to y'all for sliding in. NFZ. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that share button. Make sure y'all show love, man. 0. We had Willie Stovall. I'm glad you mentioned that. The Dallas Cowboys had 0 first-round picks on their offensive line in the 90s. Larry Allen was the highest drafted offensive lineman the Dallas Cowboys had. He was a second-round pick. All-time great, but he was a second-round pick still. I know people like to talk about redrafts, but you don't get redos in life. Whatever happened, happened. Whatever happened in life happened. You can't redo it. You can't change history. You can't do none of that. Right? You can't do none of that. You can't redo life, man. He said, "Fuck Dallas, but respect you." That's real though, cause I be feeling like fuck the Dallas Cowboys sometimes too, especially when they do shit like this. Oh, Larry, the ghetto show. Like, oh, you took time out of your day to come in here to this ghetto ass show to give your opinion. That is time out your day you will never get back, you stupid little bitch. Surely you had something better to do with your life, man, but you don't. You don't got shit to do with your life. You're in here, listen to me talk about the Dallas Cowboys at my kitchen table. You are a loser. You don't have shit going on with your life, my dog. But thank you for the support though. You came in, you gave me some interactions, you gave me a view. So yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Hey, Ma, shoot this bitch ass nigga in the head for me though. But yeah, that's real though. My boy Bear Down. I remember you were a Bear fan, man. What's up with you, dog? But yeah, man, back to what we were talking about before we were interrupted by the knuckle dragger. The Dallas Cowboys, even when we were winning championships back in the day, that was not what we did in building our trenches. We didn't spend a bunch of first round picks, on the offensive line. We didn't do that. That was not what we did. But the Dallas Cowboys did spend a first round pick on Emmitt Smith. They did spend a first round pick on Michael Irvin. They did spend a first round pick on Alvin Harper. So what the Dallas Cowboys actually did was invest heavily on the skill position players, the running backs, the wide receivers, the quarterback, right? Who is pretty much an extension of that. And then, they built their trenches up, second round, third round, free agency, right? We know how they actually built that offensive line up. So my issue is not with actually building the trenches. That's not my issue. How you build the trenches up is important to me. You said how long I've been a fan? Very long time. Like pretty much the go-to answer is all my life. I'm a second generation Dallas Cowboys fan. My daddy was is to this day a Dallas Cowboys fan. So I was born into this shit. I'm saying it's like a birthright at this point. So as my entire life is the answer. So yeah, so I don't have an issue, with the trenches. It's just the fact that this is not how winning teams are building up their rosters. That's not what they're doing. So I think it's disingenuous to say and do that, because these other teams aren't doing that. The teams that actually compete are not building their trenches like that, in that manner. I had to, boss, because I got to get that shit off my chest. Like I can't just sit here and tweet about it. I got to just really sit here and say it. And boss, you can't say I'm lying. Hey, we gonna fight the good fight, man. We gonna fight the good fight. But boss, can you agree that I'm not lying when I say that the teams that are going to Super Bowls are not spending all their draft capital on offensive linemen? They're getting offensive linemen in free agency. They may trade for them, and they're developing their second round and third round, fourth round guys back. But when you talk about the guys in the first round they actually drafted, the most on a championship team in the last 11 years has been 2, and that's Seattle. Seattle had 2. New England had 0. Some of the teams had 0. Some of the teams only had 1. Now they got stout offensive lines, but my thing is, I don't want to just jump to the answer. The answer is to have a good offensive line. How you got there is important to me, because there are limited resources in team building, and they did not squander all their top picks on first round offensive linemen. That's all I'm saying. Like real talk. So yeah, man, like Dallas Cowboys, and again, one of the reasons why I feel like if we get this draft wrong and we're not able to get the wide receiver that we've been wanting. I don't believe the Dallas Cowboys will be in position to get a game changer at the wide receiver position if we wait. As I pointed out before, numerous times, we got pick 44 this year in the second round. I actually made a mistake on this post. I thought it was only 9. There were actually 10 wide receivers taken before pick 44 last year. To be exact, there were 10 wide receivers taken last year by pick 37. So the top second round wide receivers like Trey Harris and Jaden Higgins, they might not even be in play for the Dallas Cowboys by the time pick 44 rolls around this year. So there is a very good chance if the Dallas Cowboys do not address wide receiver in the first round, whether it be at 12 or it may be trading back into the 20s and getting an extra pick and getting a Ibuka or getting a Luther Burden, if they don't do it in the first round, there is a really, really, really good chance the Dallas Cowboys will not be in position to get a better upgrade at wide receiver, at this point. My boy said send him the link. Fuck it, I'll send you the link, my dog. We gonna thug it out, man. I'm seeing you the link. Y'all bear with me, man. We finna bring Boss Cowboy into the building. We gonna talk through this, and we gonna keep rocking in the show, man. There's over 60 people in the chat right now, so I need at least 60 likes on the video. I need 60 likes and at least 60 shares, man. Yeah, we gonna let the boss man in, man. You know we rock with boss. So boss, it's in your DMs on Twitter. It's in your DM on Twitter, man. We gonna bring the boss man in. And Troy Dudley, I can rock with that. If the Dallas Cowboys trade back, get an extra second round pick, we can actually address both positions. That's really what I've been hoping and praying is getting the best of both worlds. Because a lot of people have been overthinking the Tyler Booker pick. A lot of people are pushing Tyler Booker down their draft boards because of his athleticism. So my grand scheme has always been to get both of them boys. It's always been to try to get Ted or Golden, and then get Tyler Booker. Right? That's been the plan for a minute now. Because in a perfect world, the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, let me add my dog to the stream. Hold on. What's up with your boss, man?
What's up, my brother?
Let me take this down, man. What's good with you, bro?
What's up with it, man? What's
Man.
up? I said I love you, bro. You know why?
What's
do
up?
it the American way. You hear me? You like to fight too. You know what I'm saying? You go face your accuser like a real OG.
Yeah, that's real though, man.
That's real, and I love it because honestly, I know you mean it, bro. You know what I'm saying?
You mean it too. Cause listen, I want everybody to get something clear. Josh Simmons is a great offensive lineman. Tyler Booker is a great offensive lineman. Nobody is taken away from their talent or their ability. My issue with it up to this point is just the how the Dallas Cowboys are going about. Because we know they don't spend in free agency. They're one of the bottom spenders the last however many years, might be been the last decade. We know that they don't really make a lot of trades. They don't really make a lot of trades for high profile players. So when it comes down to building the team, a lot of the times it's the draft or bust. Like honestly, if you want an improvement for the Dallas Cowboys, more times than not, it's been you gotta draft it. You gotta draft it. You gotta draft it. Cause look back. Cause listen, boss, if the Dallas Cowboys had a track record of drafting wide receivers in the second round, we could rock. We could rock. Do you know the last time the Dallas Cowboys drafted a second round wide receiver, boss man?
Oh, long time.
2003, Antonio Bryant.
Yeah.
So the Dallas Cowboys do a lot of things that make me just cringe at that. Because they don't spend the free agency to go out there and get the wide receivers we want. Because Keenan Allen should have been a Dallas Cowboy already. If we just talking about fit scheme and everything, they let a couple dollars keep them away from Keenan Allen. They'll probably go the route of a Tyler Lockett, who, you
I
know,
agree.
is an okay receiver, but I don't think there's a big difference between him and Brandon Cooks. Will sort of bring me back to the square one thing. From
I think
last
it's a
year.
big difference, honestly.
I don't see
A
it.
big enough difference, and we might not see it. I
And
see
the reason,
him as a route runner, and I think that type of guy really helps Dak. I never saw Brandon Cook as a top-notch route runner. I saw him more straight line speed, and that's where age was a issue for him. You're right, because when he was winning and having those 1,000-yard receivers, he was usually
out of college.
Yeah, he was 4-3 and winning that way. Versus when I look at Tyler Lockett, and y'all know, and we've all done film breakdowns on here. I know you and Landlord looked at him too.
Mhm.
I saw the routes. I saw still somebody that's like, God, you know what I'm saying, that he not what he used to be, but I think he good enough with Dak. It's almost kind of like, you remember when we had Cobb, and people thought Cobb was washed and he should have had 1,000 yards if it wouldn't have been for Connor Williams holding and shit like that, you know? So I see him coming in even better than what Cobb was. You know, and so I want to say this because obviously, man, that Booker as a 30 visit kind of rocked the weapons. You know what I'm saying? It kind of hit all of y'all in the chest. I could tell. And it's unfortunate because this whole fight that we've been having is not our fault. This fight is because they didn't do what they supposed to in free agency and get it out the way. Like when you look at Washington and you see that they went and got Debo early, they just knocked that out. Boom, they knocked that out. Versus they lied to us. They said that they was gonna go into the draft, knock out the free agents so that they could draft with pure BPA, and they didn't. So guess what? When we see Booker, it makes people like you, it makes people like Star, and the people that know we need a wide receiver too, it makes y'all legitly panic because it automatically says, man, they finna have us walking there with Tolbert. They getting ready to have us walking there with Mingo. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things to where to me, I see the risk of a receiver too. And I was gonna talk about this tonight when I do the show. Because see, the Dallas Cowboys, as you know, is not like other teams where we'll draft it, but the other teams will take their hands off, like Washington. They'll say, we got him, but coach, y'all do what you gonna do. If he ain't the guy, y'all say so, right? What we'll do if we get a weapon, we'll say we paid CD, we paid Dak, and we got a first round receiver. Dak go throw that thing 40 times. And see, people like me and Lou don't want that. People like me and Lou saying, nah, bro, get Booker, rent the weapon, so the emphasis on showing that you was right about the trenches. And so get the back, rent the weapon. You know what I'm saying? And I want to rent the weapon more so because I'm genuine about this. I feel like this is a bottom of the 20s in the receivers. I do. And I showed that where what's old boy that everybody trusts, Dane Bugler, he said the exact same thing. And we never talked. He said the exact same thing. He said in this draft, Thomas would have been the top. And then last year, these weapons would have been at the bottom or the second round. So I don't want us being like what my boy Lou would call having that sugar eye, where we so thirsty for that weapon that we getting it at 12 when we really should move down and target a Booker.
I mean, Booker my top guy anyway.
Me too. He my top guy.
But this is the thing, because where I disagree with you with in regards to how they view it, like it was this year and that year, like those are hypotheticals. You know what I'm saying? Like sure, that's a possibility. But at the same time, we also know there are draft classes where CeeDee Lamb is not a top tier wide receiver. Hell, he went 17 in his own draft. So I feel like, and I think I'm really parenting Landlord with this. Mm-hmm. After you draft them and they're good, I don't think anybody cares about where you drafted them at. Because at this point, how well Dak Prescott played, would you have been mad he was a first round pick?
Yeah, and you right on that, except for one thing. Let me push back your pushback a little bit.
Go ahead.
the reason why I don't want us to get a 20 receiver at 12 because we have an opportunity to kind of pick up an extra pick if we value that person correctly this draft. You feel me? So, and then me and you play with the simulator, bro. When you had perfect world peace when we was going against Philly, because every time, what did? We moved down to 8 or we moved down to 22 at the worst. Every time we moved back, we had world peace in our draft, didn't we, bro? And we usually got who we was targeting. We almost had Matthew Golden one time. I just messed up and reset that whole draft, which could happen. You feel me? That could really happen. Now, I know y'all been making the case that we had 10 receivers before 44, but me and you actually did it this time. We looked at the teams in between 12 and 20. We both know that it's going to only be about 2 teams that really need a receiver between 12 and 20. True?
Yeah, between 12 and 20. The issue is going to be what you're looking like before. Because the real question is going to be if Ted is gone. Because remember, there was time we traded back when Ted was there just for the sake of the simulator.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So the real question is going to be if Ted and Golden are gone, how high do some of these other teams prioritize some of these weapons?
Yeah.
That's going to be the true testament. Because, like, if Matthew Golden and Ted is there or gone, like, it should be a no-brainer to trade back at that point.
Right.
Because, you know, they're not valuing Ibuka. They should, but they're not valuing Ibuka that high. You know, Luther Burden draft stock is low because he played with Brady Cook. So yeah, man. Like, I get it. If Ted or Golden are gone, I don't mind trading back. My issue would be this. I'm not saying that you can't, you know, draft the offensive lineman, but there are offensive linemen that I like that you don't necessarily have to get in the first round.
Yeah,
I just
and you did a real good job, in which I appreciate you, bro. I really got to say this openly. You have had a great offseason of ideas. Fantastic.
I appreciate it.
I love the options that you showed. Can you pull up one of them? You need me to send it to you? Because I still got them.
I think I still got Tate in here.
Yeah. So you did a good job of guys that actually kind of fit Dallas style, because that's important. It's a certain style. We like RAS scores guys in the top 3 rounds. We'll get low RAS scores in the bottom in the trenches, but we usually don't do lower RAS scores in the first 3. We like to bet on athleticism and think we can coach those guys up. So there are a few options that I would feel good about in terms of competition. I would feel like it's a couple of guys that you showed that I would feel good about in terms of competition, like real good about.
I'd lie. You might have to send it to me. I think I took my boy out of here.
You took him out? You dirty.
Yeah, I think I took him out of here. But send it to me. I can upload it into the show.
How you want me to send it to you?
I might. You know what? I think I still have it in my phone, so I should be able to upload it from.
Because I can send it to you on Twitter. That'd be fast.
Nah, I think in my phone I already got it edited to fit in here and everything.
Yeah, but just while he pulling it up, I talk for him.
Thank you.
It's options. It's options. Like, Henny is not lying. There's ways to add competition at guard that I would feel great about. Not even good about, great about. You know, obviously my main thing, obviously on Booker, is the physicality that he brings, and I think will be infectious. Athletically, that RAS score makes the stat nerds nervous. You know what I mean? But me and Henny actually was like, forget that. It's the tape. And see, Henny looked at the tape. When we first used to fight about this, those were the days Henny didn't look at it. But then when Henny looked at him, he was like, okay, the hate on Booker is stupid now. Like, you know what I mean? And y'all saw me and Henny go through World War 20. You know what I mean? We was fighting gloves off, headbutting, biting on the ears like Mike Tyson. It was like no mercy fighting for team weapons versus team trenches. Or team Booker. I really need to say team Booker. So it's one of those things though, but Henny did a good job. We got options, y'all. I'm being fair. We got options for guard too. That is, we don't necessarily have to go Booker, with the options that we have. But I want us to do what my head coach said. My head coach said that he believes in building on the trenches, and he believes in running the ball and establishing a physical identity. Simmons is the best offensive lineman. There is no player in this draft that represents physicality more than Booker.
So
Not one.
that's what I wanted to ask you about actually, because Josh Simmons is a left tackle.
Yeah.
So my question to you is this:
Yeah.
if you draft Josh Simmons, what the hell does that mean for Guyton and Terrence Steele?
Yeah. And see, we had this discussion, and I had the discussion with Botch as well as the OC and Lou. So it would depends. Like, it's things that I don't know that would help me if I did know. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for instance, I don't know if he ambidextrous. So ambidextrous is when your right hand left you can use equally. See, Tyron Smith could, his right and left, and the OC himself is ambidextrous to where he can write with his right hand and write with his left. That's why the OC, when he was in college, he played left guard, left tackle, right guard, and right tackle as needed and didn't miss a beat. But then there are certain people to where they really strong on one side. That's why they struggle when they switch. Like, for instance, TJ Bass, when he plays, you don't really see drop off when he play left guard, and then he has to then one day play right guard. Same thing with Hoffman. You put Hoffman at left guard or right guard, he's about the same. So those players, and I think what helps Hoffman is that boxing. You know what I mean? That boxing and him always working on that boxing craft. Because anybody that box know that the first thing they train you to do is switch your feet and make your dominant hand your power hand. You know what I'm saying? But naturally, what do we all do? And I had people do this. I would want anybody to do this. If you want to feel what guards and tackles go through when they got to switch feet, stand up and get in a natural fight stand. I'm serious. Everybody do this if you want to feel it, right? And you go feel it. Get up and square up like you finna fight, right? Throw a punch. Throw any punch, a regular punch, right? Then switch feet and try to throw that same punch. And you go feel the awkwardness in it unless you're ambidextrous. You won't even feel the difference. Like when I switch feet, I feel the difference in my balance, my coordination, because I'm not as ambidextrous, So like real good basketball players, they ambidextrous. They can beat you on the left, they can beat you on the right, and they'll finish with their left, and it'll look just like when they finish with their right. But me and you went against guys that we knew this dude is only right side dominant. He going to his right because he can't go to his left. You feel me? Right. So I don't really know what Simmons is on his ambidextrous ability. You feel me? Same thing with Zach Martin. Zach Martin played left tackle in college, but then they just chunked him at the right guard, and he was what? A fish in water. That's why I honestly don't have a scouting report that I would need to really answer that question on Simmons. You know what I'm saying? Now, if he was ambidextrous, I'm saying get him. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, shit, because he go fit. You like, man, do it. You know what I'm saying? But if he not, now we like, okay, what we getting ready to do? Try to reshuffle this line? The fuck? What I'm saying?
My next question is, do you think that they are targeting them at 12, or do you think that they are hoping that they slide? Because Josh Simmons would have been a top 10 pick if he didn't tear his knee up. You keep coming off of a knee injury.
Man, so, I'm gonna give it away early, man. I was saving this for the night, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and give away the punchline early. I should never do this. You never should give away the end of a movie before you should tease the movie before you go live. Mm-hmm. But Team Weapons likely getting ready to win this war, y'all. I'm just being honest. I see a conflict that's happening between Brian Schottenheimer and Stephen Jones. It's an obvious war to me, but I think Brian is getting ready to lose this war. And I'm gonna go into more detail tonight. I think y'all go get y'all weapon, buddy. Real talk. And see, the Cowboys, they throwing out two strong signals right now, right? And the last week they always do. They pretty much tell you generally what they're getting ready to do. Like, they don't kind of hold back. Last week, who was everybody harping on as the clue? Matthew Golden, right? And receiver at 12 and Ted. That was as early as last week. Now this week, who are you hearing about? Simmons. Then they just had Booker come in at the last minute. There's a goddamn tug of war going on, bro. You feel me? There's a tug of war going on. And I'm betting you $1 million with the amount of, I shouldn't be giving this, because I'm going to talk about this tonight. It's a tug of war going on, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's so for the first time, I think what we seeing is somebody big on the inside is truly wanting trenches, and somebody else is wanting weapons.
Well,
I think you go get your weapon, bro. So like, pick your head up. You know what I'm saying? Pick your head up, bro. Like, I swear to God, bro. I think you finna get that. Except I ain't gonna be like y'all. See, because if y'all get a trenches, y'all gonna fuck around and fall off. Y'all gonna jump off a cliff.
go ahead.
Y'all gonna jump off a cliff. If we get a weapon, I'm gonna be happy, but I'm gonna be also afraid. Cause see, I know the politics of my team, bro. I know what that means. If we get a weapon in the first round with a controlling front office, you know you also asking for these hats. This hat that we both wear a lot, me and you might well burn these motherfuckers.
Shit. Hey, it just really depends, man.
Nah, ain't no depends nothing, bro. You know, come on, bro. See, that's why you got to keep it 100 here.
I am, cause listen.
Come on, bro. You know your team, bro.
I know. Listen, we can't just say we know our team. We also gotta speak on Schottenheimer and what he believes offensively. You know what I'm saying? Cause we see multiple teams have weapons and still run the football. You know what I'm saying?
That's some smoking shit, bro. Come on, bro.
If Kellen Moore was here, I might feel that way. But I think that Schottenheimer a grown ass man.
Nah, bro. Come on, bro. Come on.
Like for real.
You see,
like
we talking about the Cowboys, bro. This is not Washington. Like at Washington, Magic Johnson them did say, man, we get out the way. This is the Cowboys with Jerry and Steve and Punk. Jerry and Steven said that they basically in the personnel meetings after every game, Henny. God damn.
Dog.
And you know what that mean. And let's keep it real. Because you a man, you make bread. Me and you talk. Every time I talk to him during the day, my boy always out there on some money shit, right? But, and you look like the way you be working that you have a lot of independence, right? I would say you probably got a lot of independence.
Correct.
Because you be on the phone a lot. Bosses ain't around you if but I could tell you got a lot of freedom and you do your job. Now, if you basically had to meet with your bosses, bro, every goddamn pivotal day, and they giving you suggestions, them ain't just suggestions, are they?
No.
You feel me? Because that's and I'm just being honest on my fear, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's a legit fear that Team Weapons got to take into account. They really do. That's why, to be honest, renting a weapon would be better, because now you make your Keenan Allen and your Tyler Lockett's bastards. If you want the identity of your team to be what we were, then their first pick need to represent it, whether it's running back or Booker. That's just me though, bro. That's why I'm trying to look at this thing holistically. You feel me? Because we've been rocking these hats because we believe in it, bro. Yeah. This is not our campaign. This is West Coast campaign, but we support it because we believe in it. I'll fuck around and call you and say video chat with me, and you'll be wearing this hat in Arkansas. I was wearing this hat all day. It's because I believe in it. So if I believe in it, I also want my pick to represent that, bro. I want my pick to represent what I believe. And the pick that represent this is Booker, dog.
Man, if you get Tyler Booker, Dak Prescott gonna here we go his ass right out the damn run play.
He go what?
He gonna here we go his ass right out the run play, man. Because listen, I understand what you're saying, but I think the medium, if you really want to run the ball, you need to be team trade up so you get Genty. Because that's the guy that they gonna market. That's the guy they gonna sell jerseys for. That's the guy they gonna make sure gets 30 touches. Tyler Booker is Tyler Booker. They listen, guards don't sell jerseys. We talk about politics and how they do business and shit like that. He don't sell jerseys. So guess what? CeeDee Lamb still have his ass out there. They still sell 88s, and they still gonna sell 4 jerseys. Dak Prescott gonna be out there, buzz slinging that bitch like crack rock. Because guess what?
You ain't lying on that. That's true. Because see, a lot of people eyes just, and I'm being honest. See, I ain't gonna poo-poo on that great point you just made. Because let's be honest, our eyes are not even trained to really look at the trenches. If we being all the way honest, that's why we don't appreciate the shit, bruh. We don't appreciate them trenches. Like you really gotta, what really make you appreciate the trenches is when you get really heavy into draft content. That's when your eyes start learning how to really focus on what's going up front. But if you watching the games from a television, most of us follow the ball. It's natural, right? So when Dak does a play action, right, we go follow him. And then when he put that ball in a running back stomach, now we looking at the back. We not looking at all the violence that's in front. You know what I'm saying? And it does take, that's why people don't appreciate it. That's why we boo them dudes. You feel me? That's why we be boo Fredericks. Boo. We booed them. You know what I'm saying? The Cowboys, but it's natural because most fans, their eyes don't even recognize that violence. Like if you want to see major violence in the run game, watch Steel. Like if you want to see violence, like a dude that'll toss you on your head, you know what I mean? The most violent dude by a mile is Steel and Tyler Smith. When them dudes get going, they will crack your back. You know, they will literally crack your back. You know what I'm saying? But
that's sort of the reason why I ain't tripping that much on offensive line. Because listen, they have not been able to pass block for a very long time. I got the numbers for that. They ain't been able to pass block for a very, very long time. But they always be pretty decent in running the football.
my boy Charles Bud say guards don't get you to the playoffs. That's not true, bro. That's not true, bro. Listen, y'all, let me tell y'all something, bro. In 2014, I'm gonna go back to what you just said in a second. I just want to address that.
Go ahead.
In 2014, Romo had a record 10 consecutive wins when they got Zach Martin. That's a fact, man. That's a fact. And Murray went from 1,000 yards to 1,800 yards. Yeah, you did win, and that shit got you straight to the playoffs. Straight. So then go look at 2016. People try to put it all on Dak and Zeke. Nah. They had a veteran dog-ass offensive line, bro. And Zeke was running behind that offensive line, and Dak was protected by that offensive line. And he won 11 games straight, bro. That shit got you 13 motherfucking wins, bro. So how we gonna say the offensive line don't get you to the playoffs when your most consecutive wins in your franchise history was when you had the best offensive line?
I want to go so far and say,
and one more thing, because I was debating people on Twitter on this. It's like, bruh, and our losses in 2014 in the playoffs didn't have shit to do with that offensive line. Because guess what? They opened up a truck ass hole for Murray in 2014. What his ass do?
he fumbled.
He fumbled twice.
He would have hit his head on the goalpost.
He would have hit his goddamn head. So did they do their job? Yes. Who fucked it up?
Murray did.
He did, right? So then in 2016, that offensive line with Dak, with Zeke, with Dez, did they damn thing, didn't it? What happened?
Dak had 300 yards. Dez
Dang.
100. Zeke ran for over 100.
So what we talking about? That ain't have none. Your offensive line did what they supposed to do. They played like Hall of Famers. They played like all pros. Everybody else around them failed, bruh. That's real talk. But what we do is we say, oh, they didn't get it done. So what have it done for us? Nah, y'all ain't looking at it honest. Y'all ain't even debating this honest, bro. If you debating this honest, what they really should have did was put the pressure on everybody else except the offensive line, Zeke, Dak, Romo, and Murray.
Yeah, so I'll say this, man. I don't think anybody is saying that the offensive line doesn't mean anything. That'd be lying.
Yeah, that'd be lying.
You know, we be lying. We said that.
Exactly.
I just think that the way that you have to build a team, giving your limits with picks, and giving your limits with cap space, you have to, you know, divvy out some of that.
Yeah.
Because listen, if the Dallas Cowboys had drafted more first round pick wide receivers, right, over the course of the last 25 years, we wouldn't be in position to ask for another one.
Right.
You drafted 2 in 25 years, CeeDee Lamb and Dez Bryant. Right, that's it. You drafted 1 second round pick wide receiver. That's Antonio Bryant.
Yeah.
Like, and you know, if you want to count the Amari Cooper trade, cool. So we'll bring the number up to 3. Let's say 3 in 25 years.
You being very fair today, bro. I don't know what you drank today, bro. You being fair. I ain't never seen Henny this fair. This must be draft week. My boy serious as hell.
Yeah.
You fighting fair as hell, boy. Usually you be headbutting, you be biting in the ears. You be trying to win. You be going out. But go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, because the Dallas Cowboys have consistently neglected the wide receiver room, we're in the position that we are right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Like, the people that like wide receivers are the poor in this situation, and the people that love offensive linemen are the wealthy. Like, even if you're not getting first round picks, you're getting second round picks and third round picks. And everything else under the sun. Like, even Conor McGovern, who was a Pro Bowler this year, by the way, was a third round pick. I thought, oh damn, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, even Connor Williams was a second round pick. Like, and then we can go through the litany of first round picks that've been taken on the offensive line in this time frame. So the offensive line gets a lot of love, and even in the back of the draft, they draft 40 of them. That's why you got Austin Richards and Nathan Thomas and everybody else.
Yeah, I mean,
trying to be honest. So I think that's the disconnect.
Yeah, it's a major disconnect.
Cause they like, damn, y'all get all the assets. When are we gonna get something?
Yeah, but it's, you know, you ain't lying on that. You also get your greatest return on investment.
I mean, I'll also be fair. There are 5 offensive line spots, so there's also one of the reasons why.
Boy, y'all see Henny's on. Boy, that boy is first hell today. Cause I was gonna say that you beat me to it. You refuted your own point. But yeah, listen, man. This is exactly why I be mad at Henny sometimes, but then I turn around and love my brother. Cause at the end of the day, you could just tell the love kicks in, and that's where. And I'm gonna be honest, I know I moved closer to you doing these debates, but I can also tell you've moved closer to me. You know what I'm saying? Our fights really kind of brought us closer. I don't mean like on no homie shit. I'm saying just really trying to solve the problems that we in. And I just want to say this openly, man. I appreciate the integrity you walking in, doing this whole fight. Because everybody ain't fighting this with integrity. Everybody ain't fighting this out with openness. You know what I'm saying? Because when y'all plugged holes in me about the chances of getting that weapon before 44, that was a real big hole. You know what I'm saying? And I just had to own up to that. Like, yeah, we taking a risk if we move down too far, because you could have a run on weapons fast. You know what I'm saying? Especially before 44. So, you know, but it's one of those things. I see ways to solve it outside the draft. That's why I ain't tripping. You feel me? Because this is what I mean. I talked about renting it, right? So we talking about the Keenan Allens, Amari Coopers, or we talking about Tyler Lockett's, right? That's renting it, right? Mm-hmm. But we can also trade. We can trade. Like, it's ways to get it. It's ways to get it, and cats go get it. And like when we needed it, even with receiver by committee, we went and traded for it. So Cowboy Nation, to me, they so hungry. They smelling it in the oven coming from the draft, right? And they ready to stick their hand in the hot ass oven and eat that wide receiver too. My thing is, I'm telling y'all not to be like Esau.
It is biblical on me.
See, I can tell you, I can tell you be going to church, bro. We just had Resurrection Sunday. Mm-hmm. So Esau was hungry, man. God was trying to teach us an important lesson. And Cowboy Nation, I don't want y'all to be Esau's. I don't want y'all to be sinners. See, God was telling y'all, don't let the appetite make you make a rash decision. That's what God was trying to teach us through Esau. You feel me? He was trying to teach you, You're horny, but don't cheat on your wife. You horny, you legitly have a need, but be disciplined even with the need. That's what he's trying to teach us through Esau. That's what I'm trying to say to Cowboy Nation. We are truly in need of wide receiver too, but we still got to be disciplined on the right decisions, man. And that's what this whole fight is about. It's about the decision while we're hungry. Still be smart. That's what I'm saying. You feel me? And we don't have to go rush and put our hand in the hot ass oven just because we hungry.
Now look, I'll put it like this, man. And as he is preaching, man, he just came from church. I can feel it on him.
Hey, man. Hey, no, I meant that. Don't be Esau, Cowboy Nation.
So look, you are correct with that, but my issue is this: while there are other options available to the Dallas Cowboys to get the wide receiver too,
yeah,
we also got to remember who we're dealing with. No, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
so like this isn't a team that's known for their competence.
Yeah,
when it comes to some of these trades and some of these acquisitions.
Yeah, you right.
So, and listen, that's the same thing that Brunson was talking about. He don't care about losing Dallas Goedert because Howie Roseman has already built that positive equity with the fan base.
True.
All the moves he's made has got them this far.
Yeah.
The 2 Super Bowls, the 3 Super Bowl appearances in the last however many years, the 2 Super Bowl wins. He got positive equity with them.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily believe the Dallas Cowboys have positive equity with the fan base.
They shouldn't.
They shouldn't, because I don't think anybody believed that Amari Cooper should have been traded when they
Exactly.
traded him. I don't think anybody believed they should have signed Michael Gallup when he was injured. I don't think anybody believes they should have franchise tagged Tony Pollard coming off of an injury, where you could have just gave the man a death row record deal and still had him under contract when you were out here struggling at running back last year. Like there have been several moves, even the moves that they didn't make, guys that they knew they weren't going to re-sign, and they let walk without getting any kind of return on investment, like Dorrance Armstrong. We talked about this earlier. Dorrance Armstrong was never going to replicate the shit he was doing. Ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
And they still let him walk for nothing.
Yeah.
And my issue is this: they rather have the comp picks than to actually go out there on the market and see they can flip it for something. They ain't got that hustler mentality.
You ain't lying on nothing you said. And see, and what Henny doing a good job of explaining is why they fight Booker so hard, because it is trust issues. It's trust issues with them actually doing the right things and the common sense thing. And I can't fight that, bro. I could be walking us right into Tolbert and Mingo. I could. I ain't gonna lie and act like that's not a possibility with our front office, bro. Because we do stuff like that. We'll go in there and say, yeah, I know Zimmer, you saying you need DTs, but hey, Mozzie, we go just put 30 pounds back on them, and then, that surgery, it ain't gonna be no setbacks from that.
No Jordan Phillips, man. That's my dog right there.
So like, this is why I get why y'all fight me so hard. I do. Like, and that's where I'm being fair to Team Weapons. I'm being all the way fair to Team Weapons. They don't trust, and Team Weapons should not trust front office. I all the way get it.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So now, but man, I appreciate you for letting me come on, bro, and just kind of talk this out with you. And I respect greatly as hell that you jumped off Twitter quick and said, I'm going live. You know what I'm saying? That's how to do it. That's how to do it, where you use your platform for what you really believe in, and you putting your voice out there. And I figured this out. I figured this out about 3 weeks ago. I say team Weapons versus Team Booker. We go fight up into draft day. I figured that out. I say this fight is gonna literally go all the way up into the very last second. We go be fighting literally before the pick come in, bro. I already see it. So what you doing and what I'm doing is just fighting it out and doing our best and we go both sleep well at regardless of what happens, because we fought for it. Whatever happened, we gonna be like, yeah, fuck it. You know why? Because you fought good, bro. I'm gonna be honest, bro. Henny pissed me off a lot of days because I really believe my idea. I pissed him off a lot of days because he really believed his idea. But we fought for it. It was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we both got the same heart on this, bro. It's all about that DC4L. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is the last thing I'm saying. This would be my final word. And the most important thing, I think Henny and I, it ain't never been no show when we've been fighting. It's never been for TV, bro. It has never been, oh, you be Team Weapons, I'm gonna be Team Booker shit and bullshit just for entertainment. It was every time we disagreed, it was just like I did today. Send me the link, bro. Let's go. Let's just box this out. But the most important thing that I think Cowboy Nation is peeping from me and you is how to fight. How to fight. Like, where you fight hard, but if somebody land that punch, you acknowledge that too, bro. You acknowledge that. And whatever happens in the draft, I'm gonna say this, bro. I really enjoyed the fights between me, you, and Landlord. I really enjoyed them, bro. And I got more respect for y'all now as fighters. Cause like everybody can't fight with me. I drop most people quick.
I saw.
I drop most people quick. Like, but y'all got some sharp swords, and and it's the work that y'all put in for it too. Like, you know, so yeah, that's my final word, man. Is I love doing content with you boys, and I can't wait till all of us are much bigger. Cause Cowboy Nation need to see this more. They need to see this is how you fight, but for what you believe in. But you gotta always keep your integrity in that fight. You gotta acknowledge when the other person made a good point, because at the end of the day, it's not about me being right or you being right or looking or upstaging the other person. It's about what's the best idea. And me and you and Landlord, I think we displayed that like never before this offseason. That's my final word.
Indeed, man. And boss, I do appreciate you for taking time out your day to jump on here, man, and chop it up with me about this weapons and Booker debate. Because listen, I understand where you're coming from. One of the identity. You know, I can't act like I don't understand the pros of having, you know, good offensive line play. That would be disingenuous on my part. You know, I just want people to understand when it comes down to building a championship roster, something that we haven't technically done in a minute.
Yeah.
You know, I like to do what the people that are winning are doing. And, you know, the people that are winning, you know, aren't allocating a bunch of their first round picks into, you know, the offensive line. You know, the last however many years, like the last 11 years, the most drafted offensive linemen that a championship contender has had was 2. You know, I'm talking about a team that ended in the Super Bowl or won the Super Bowl. And that was Seattle back in 2014. They had 2 first-round pick offensive linemen that they themselves drafted. A lot of these teams are drafting and developing. You know, they'll get a cornerstone, and then they'll trade for somebody. They'll use free agency. Like we saw how the 49ers got Trent Williams. You know, he was with Washington, and then they gave him the bag, and shit, he's 49er for life at this point, right? So I'm not mad at the trenches, but I do want the Dallas Cowboys to do better in team building, because when you use all your assets in one place and only one place, nobody else gets to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like the wide receivers have not eaten. Running back, we spent a 4th round pick on a running back, and we spent a first round pick on a running back. You know, I can't think of the last time we really invested a lot of capital in that area too. So we're not just trying to crucify offensive line, but damn it, you know, weapon lives matter too. Weapon lives matter too, man. So Dallas Cowboys, do the right thing. Put some capital towards the weapons so we can be a true contender and do this thing the right way, man. But hey, that's my final word. I appreciate Boss for sliding in here, rocking with us, man. And we're gonna have a fire-ass draft show.
Yeah.
I don't care what y'all doing, man. I need y'all to tap in for the
This gonna be dope, bro.
Yeah, for the DC Universe draft show, man.
Shit finna be stupid.
Yes,
so I'm
sir.
finna go live in about 20 minutes. I ain't trying to poach on the people that's in here, obviously.
Yeah, y'all need to go over there.
I gave away a little bit. I'm gonna give away more when I talk about this tug of war. I'm gonna talk about I see a tug of war happening, and I'm gonna get into the details of that, what all this shit to me mean, and that's it.
All right, man. And hey, in the words of my brother West Coast Cowboy, never look down because the star is up. Peace.
All right.